From the 777 energy of Ogun to the winds, Wednesdays or Yah winds, entrenched in Obatala's white. Let's talk about it.
Attention, star seeds. Attention, light workers. Attention, root workers. Attention, conjure doctors. Attention, nature-based faith practitioners. Attention, spiritualists. Attention, diviners. Attention, prophets. Attention, the spiritually eclectic. Attention for those seeking the road less traveled. This is time-sensitive cosmic information, so you might want to catch this. This is time-sensitive cosmic information that you can use in your prayers, manifestations, and other spirit works. Beam up now via this video or the audio link in this video's description box to get this on the fly esoteric wisdom. Beaming up now.
Ashe and Mojibatu Olodumare Bobo Egungun Ara Orun Bobo Orisha for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm iiiYansaje to Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekule if you're catching this in the evening time. Ekaro if you're catching this in the early morning's rise. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on 222.9, the Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. And now it's time for your cosmic weather forecast. Just like you step outside and want to know whether it's going to be rain or shine, hot and cold, I do the same thing except for with the quasars, the planets, the zodiac signs, the daily numerology, so you can have the cosmic heads up on that divine weather. So you can be energetically prepared as to whether or not you're going to need your sun hat or your rain boots and umbrella. We are winding down your Tools Day night, August 27, 2024, and the day vibrates on a 7. It's August 27. Ogun's number is 7, and this is the ruling day of Ogun in Orisha tradition. Iba Ogun, or the day of victory. And I like to correlate that, break it down into something you can use by saying the Orisha Ogun gives you the tools that you need to build the next step in your highest destiny. So use what's in your hand and be grateful for it. And that is how you divinely attract more to work with. Ashe. It is the 10th Tools Day of summer solstice and the first Tools Day of Virgo season, that mutable earth energy that pushes us to really put in that work. So whatever you putting your work into for divine causes, put your back into it. The moon is waning tonight in Gemini, so that means taking actions in those areas of duality. Maybe you need to break out Ogun's sledgehammer and break down some of those limited thinkings that are keeping you from your highest potential. Maybe your inner child, your ego self needs some healing, and that's why it's acting out. But whatever balance needs to be made concerning your sense of duality, you got about 2 hours and some change to work it out. Put some action into it, because when the clock strikes 12 and Ogun passes that time clock to Oya, we gonna come out of the smooth groove, divine masculine energy of the fathers of song and into the exotic sweet mothers and veneration to Oya. After all, the mothership is just an humble servant and following the alignment of the quasars to bring you an aligned, astrologically aligned, Orisha venerated 7-day, 24-hour cosmic groove. I am iiiYansaje Muse, and this is radio for the road less traveled, 222.9 the Mothership, and you are listening to The Forecast. Did you enjoy the work and greenery wisdom of the Peridot poetess? Well, I hope you did,
because now it's time to take to the skies on my Wednesdaily blog, the Malbec Planetarium. That's www.poeticallymuse.org/Malbec Planetarium. That's POETICALLYMUSED.org/MALBECPLANETARIUM. Bet you won't join me there tomorrow to learn a few secrets of the quasars. Ashe.
And we're back. So, in case you're just now joining us, I'm iiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, the mojo on 222.9. And it's Wednesday, August 28th, 2024, and you got 8-month, 28th day, and the days boil down to the 8 on the numerology. So you got some 888 Obatala energy all in Oya's wind. And I like to call it the winds in white. Well, how do we break that down? Because, that's been showing up a lot with Obatala days with daily numerologies of 9 and Oya days with daily numerologies of 8. So there's anytime you notice that, that's kind of an essence of Obatala and Oya moving together in that energy. Now, how do you break that down into something you can use? I'll explain. Obatala is the quest for spiritual purity. This is why his color is white. He's the king of the Orisha because he has all of the wisdom and all of the creativity and the prototype for the other 6 main Orisha. And in order to strive for spiritual purity, one must make changes. Change is what Oya is all about, not just death, transformation. Because anytime you have to bring in a new space of being, something has to die for something to be reborn. Meaning, let's just say something as simple as weight loss, okay? If you're trying to transform your physical self, what do you have to give up? The foods that are keeping you fat, the habits that are keeping you unhealthy. That part of you has to transform or die. And that's how you work with Oya energy. Changes in transformation, but you're making those changes in the intents of becoming more spiritually pure. So that's the essence of the wind in Obatala's white, broken down practically into something you can use every day. Ashe. It is the 10th Wednesday of summer solstice and the first of Virgo season. And the moon tonight has shifted into zodiac house 4. That's 6 and that 9 energy on the moon. So you may have something really emotional that may happen on Wednesday. That'll happen today. That'll purify your spirit. Release emotions in the home of purifying the soul, in the name of purifying the soul. And you'll be surprised what kind of old stuff you got to come up with to release, because oftentimes we suppress our negative emotions because we say things like, oh, it happened a long time ago, or maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. And it's like we kind of play ourselves off that way. And that's not a healthy habit to develop when it comes to spiritual growth. If something is hurting you, it is still relevant. And if it's relevant, it deserves addressing if it will bring you more peace, more light, and more balance. Think about it. I'll be right back, and we're going to talk more about what's going on in the quasars and all these planets that are busting a moonwalk on 222.9 The Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. And this is your nightly forecast, or the one at 6 a.m., depending on where you're tuning in. Ashe.
Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburu, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership.
222.9. Beam up. And we are back. In case you're just now joining us, I'm iiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, mystics, mojo, forecast, and a few things that's going on in the quasars to give all you the highly divine babies a spiritual heads up. So we are cruising towards the end of Virgo's first decan. It is the 28th, so if you were born between August 22nd and September 2nd, you are 100% Virgo, no cut on your Mercury dope. In the Kemetic way of the stars, we are still in the season of Geb until August 31st. And in the 12 figures of African spirituality, we're still in the season of the Kola Nut until the 3rd. Happy solar return if you were born on August 28th. May Allah Damade, the ancestors, Orishas, and all saints of your respective faith bless you of many, many more, filled with Bobo Ire, that's many blessings, and Bobo Ife, all the love. And I'm still doing a little bit of zodiac dry snitching on you, so here goes. If you were born on August 28th, you are slow and deliberate, orderly, systematic, and calculated. You give full consideration to all sides of a situation before entering into it. Oh, you got a chessboard kind of mind. I like you. Mm. You accomplish whatever you undertake, and you are generally accurate in your judgment. You will find your mate in the sign of Virgo. Oh, so you need another one of you to make a bigger chessboard, huh? All right, I like it. No hating here. All right, other 11 zodiac houses. Haterade is not alkaline, so make sure that you are showing all the Virgos in your life some love. Get over there, little book, as they turn up in their season. Because you know good and darn well you want the world to turn up when your zodiac season rolls around, and you should. So do yourself a blessing, child, and sow that positive seed in advance. And while you're at it, learn about the Virgo energy in you. Break out that natal chart, study yourself. Look at house 6, look at the placement of Mercury, look at the placement of Virgo itself. And if you need some help understanding that, call the number on the screen, 314-200-0368, between the hours of 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Ashe. Okay, so let me take a sip of my protein shake because we're going to talk about these planets in retrograde real quick. Good stuff. All right. First and foremost, hallelujah. This is the last day of Mercury retrograde's second run around 2024. Last day of Mercury retrograde. Hallelujah. So we're entering Mercury retrograde in Leo on today. So you can start looking at those new contracts again. You can start starting up those new projects again. Miscommunications are going to find their peace. What else? Geminis, Virgos, y'all can kind of rest your heads a little bit more because we are finally out of Mercury retrograde number 2. So we got 2 down, 1 to go for 2024. All right, but that doesn't neglect the other 4 planets in retrograde and the one heading in. So we got Pluto in retrograde from May 2nd in Aquarius until October 12th in Capricorn, and that's all about working on little things. Connecting that to Orisha energy, Pluto resonates with the Orishas Ogun as the higher octave of Mars, regeneration. Transformation, that's Oya's middle name, so definitely her energy is sprinkled on that planet. Not to mention finality. Pluto is the last planet in this solar system that we know about, and the beginning of the galaxies we don't. And what does Oya represent? the 9, the final stage, and the new beginning stage. Mm. Pluto also resonates with taboos, and taboos are connected to destiny, and destiny is connected to Orumila, Ashe. All right. We got Saturn in retrograde, busting a moonwalk on us still from June 29th in Pisces to 11/15, November 15th, still in Pisces. That's going to affect the Capricorns and the Aquarius babies more than the other 11, 10 houses, because that's 2 houses being affected there. And this is a retrograde full of karma. Now, with Orisha energy, Saturn deals with a shoe energy, that's trickster energy, decisions, choices, opening it up the way, manifesting what you asked for energetically. Also, Saturn is the planet of power and discipline, which is resonant of Obalu energy, which isn't just the Orisha of infectious disease, not just that. Babaluaya is also the Orisha of discipline, of power, and they say in some lineages of talents. So keep that respect there as well. With this retrograde moving in Pisces energy, this deals with a lot of delusion shattering, a lot of people being brought back down to earth on a spiritual level. Those of us that are already down to earth, well, continue to keep that inner child in check so that the ego does not get too out of control nor become too suppressed. This retrograde energy brings about inner karma more so than outer karma. But you will be seeing some people get theirs. Moving on. Neptune is in retrograde, and Neptune is in retrograde from July 2nd until December 7th. That 72127 number pattern. Oh, let's just keep. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that and find out why that's irking me so much. But of course, this is going to affect Pisces people more than the other 11 houses and kind of with a triple intensity because Neptune is one of Pisces' ruling planets. The planet is retrograding in its own house, Pisces, and it's also housing Saturn's retrograde in Pisces. So if you're a Pisces person, just invoke the patience of Obatala with yourself. And any of you that are close to Pisces people, do your best to do the same because Neptune in retrograde actually strengthens the intuition, strengthens the spiritual self that many of us may try to ignore. And this is why dreams get too intense. This is why so many spiritual occurrences, confirmation from spirit, thank you. And this is why you have so many occurrences in your waking life that point to your journey, that force you to put your actions behind your intuition. So do that, and retrograde in Neptune will serve you well. Okay, we also have Chiron in retrograde from July 26th in Aries all the way to December 29th. And this is what's going to make us face our deepest fears, our biggest childhood wounds, all the fear, all the scary stuff that we hide away from the world. This Chiron in retrograde makes us face our deepest wounds, the ones we spend our lives healing from. And it's not to torture you or to bring you in any kind of negative headspace. It's for you to use the growth that you've learned thus far to further heal that wound. Because just as the spirit is layered, healing is layered. And when wounds are deep, the healing of it is layered. So allow yourself to trust the process, and in coming face to face with those wounds again, you'll do it in a stronger space. Now, we got a 2 days until 3 days until Uranus goes into retrograde. But we're going to cross more with that bridge when we get there. I'm going to take another quick break, and when I come back, we are going to get to your Wednesday daily tarot read for my Starseed Collective. I'm Iyansa J. Muse, and this is radio for the road less traveled, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. Before sight, before sight of shells, there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me. Okay, Starseed Collective, if you are seeing this read, then you're tapped in a divine algorithm, and this message is for you. Okay, so we have a new myth, and this is a lens of perspective in which you look at life. And when I say starseeds, I mean this is for the collective or other diviners, other readers, people who are walking a higher vibration, coming into their space of spiritual awakening. This is for you. New myth is all about living your truth out loud. The vibration that I'm getting is that you are coming to terms with everything you've gone through in the past and the present, and it's making your future so clear. And that's a good thing. But allow yourself to embrace it fully. What I'm getting is that many of you are suppressing your story because you're still afraid of the repercussions. You're still afraid of the opinions. You're still afraid of something when your story is not yours when you are a starseed. Your story is a story of the divine. So allow that to be what it is and let your story be the exact truth that you lived. Speak of your illuminations. Speak of the dark hours. Speak of where you've been. Speak of what you've done. Speak of what the Spirit has done. Because now your story is a testimony to those that are looking for their way. And with the star glyph chewing showing up underneath, have fun with it. Because Chewin is card 11, and it's all about spontaneity, re-invoking that inner child, not overthinking things, trickster energy, kind of, being completely transparent with yourself. So as you create this new myth or some type of platform where you're going to tell your story and speak your truth, allow yourself to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly of it, because that's what's going to make it authentic. And notice that the emblem in the middle of the new myth card is the 8, as aligned with 2024's year, the 8. So you are full of infinite wisdom that you may still be holding back, but tell your story. And if people think you all that, they're probably right. So let them have that. You tell your story so that you can honor your ancestors as well as help the people that are looking for the wisdom you're harboring. and to heal yourself. Allow yourself to have fun with it. And underneath, this is specifically speaking, whatever this new myth or whatever this new story that is coming out about you, it speaks to a place where you were not energetically centered, with the Kaban showing up inverted. And so you will be sharing some of your deepest struggles in this new myth, in this story that you have to tell. Because now that you've made it from the darkness into the light, you have a job to do. And that job that you have to do is to pass this story on. Because your story isn't just yours anymore. It is a divine blueprint, and all the things you did to climb out of the dark places you were in. And in climbing out of the dark places that you were in, your story, your new myth, can help others do the same. And that's where we have the new myth. There's my general read for the star seeds. If you would like some personal spiritual mentorship and guidance, then by all means, dial the number on the screen or treat yourself to the lovely All Ya Care package that I put in this video's description box. From there, you can book a visual reading, a live video reading, or you can book one that's pre-recorded with a 24-hour turnaround. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is Radio for the Road Less Traveled, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. Don't make me land a tornado where I could have been a cool breeze. Oh yeah. The Uranus Collection, brought to you by the Mothership Mystic Boutiq. All proceeds go to 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio for the Road Less Traveled. Beam up. Thank you for joining me for this forecast. I certainly hope that you gain some things that are going to help you have a light-filled, windy, and purified, blessed Wednesday. If you are listening at the 9 o'clock hour, then stay tuned for my Tuesday nightly vision of what love looks like, brought to you by the Divine Masculine Fathers of Song.